Hey YouTube, coming at you with another Ultra League team. This one is going to focus on Umbreon, but I'll cover the other two as well. So they're kind of both, they're all interesting Pokemon on this team. But Umbreon was the one I want to highlight because Umbreon was an interesting one where it was around in Ultra League for a while as like one of the best save swaps, easily one of the first ones that you can get like accessible level 50, like because they've had multiple community days and so you should have a lot of EV candy plus like EVs were just kind of accessible in general. So Umbreon was sort of easy to get for Ultra League, and it was a great safe swap because it's bulk and coverage in this meta. Like, think about what the meta is as safe swaps. Cresselia is a safe swap. Giratina Altered is a safe swap. You now have Jellicent everywhere, right? So that's three just super. Trevenant's not a safe swap, but Trevenant is everywhere as well. So like you have four super good answers there, and I'm not seeing Umbreon as much as I would expect. And the reason you're not seeing that is because of the fighters, right? You have, I already highlighted how strong Obstagoon is, and Scrafty kind of just fills a similar role. And then you have Cobalion and Virizion everywhere, right? And those two, between the Double Kick and Sacred Sword, kind of buffed. The main thing is before, like, you could cover your fighting weakness with like a fairy or something, and it's not that the fairy wouldn't work against those two Pokemon. It's just that like they now have like Virizion. Even though you can hit for super effective with fairy, it still can hit you like neutral with the leaf blade. Or if you're running like type of Feeny, it'll still hit you super effective. So like the main fairy sort of strength is gone. So I still think it has a lot of play. Let's look at some of the battles, and then I'll talk about the other two. Start with Lurantis. I've used Lurantis before. It's really interesting because like you do so bad against Giratina, Altered, and against Trevenant, like you get killed, which is why I think paired it with Umbreon, because I think they're pair well together. But like really strong, it hits really hard, a little glassy. I'm gonna shield up the foul play here, but it's spammy AF. These leaf blades are adding up. Thing is, like, even Scrafty is just so tanky, it's still gonna outpace me the foul plays. But I think I can just like shield and like either try and catch the move or force it. And now they come in with Cress. Way too slow on this. I don't know what I'm doing. I have Umbreon. I just mentioned in the beginning, Umbreon is the answer to these four Pokemon, and one of them's right there, so go in. And this is why it's an answer to Cresselia. Even though the foul play still takes like 3 or 4, because Cress is so tanky, it takes like 3 plus Moonblast to take you. Yeah, 3 Moonblast to take you out. Right? So, and you're going to just out spam Snarl foul play that as compared to like getting to the Moonblast. So because I did chip damage, another Moonblast isn't going to take me out. Foul play will take them out, which is great. So foul play here. They could shield and then Moonblast me, but I don't know if they will. They'll probably just come in. Oh, no, okay. I was going to say they do. I was going to say they bank it and then try and come in with Scrafty, but I'm now at a last resort, and this is the sort of spamminess that comes with this. And I'm now just going to try and snipe with Ampharos. And Ampharos is one of those, so I'm running Bristling and Zap Cannon. And it's one of those where it's like, okay, you have answers, not answers, but you have at least moves that you can throw against Giratina and Trevenant. And then you have a Zap Cannon. Zap Cannon, like you can run Thunder Punch, but I found that like Zap Cannon came in way more than just Thunder Punch. So I'd rather just have the nuke. So I'm basically at back-to-back moves here. I'm going to throw one. I'm going to reset and then bank because I'm probably going to win CMP here. So bank that move. So either I'm going to get farmed down. That is okay because now I have a Grass Knot to come out, Leaf Blade to come out and take this out because I am very, very attack heavy. So Lurantis taking care at the end there. Good lead here. They're going to have to bail into Trevenant, and here we go. Hard Punish City. I think I called this one and maybe the next battle easy because it was just like hard counter lead, and then this is like there's nothing they can do. I can chip them pretty good. The problem is, so I've run this with Foul Play and Dark Pulse before. One Foul Play, as you see, does not take them out, and they can then just spam these seed bombs, which is exactly what they're going to do. And it still takes like 4 to take you out, so there's absolutely 0 chance they're going to win this matchup. But as you can see, like they are going to chip down to the red if I don't throw. Now I built up to 2 moves, and I did that because I want to, 1, put myself pretty low. And 2, I want to have a move, even though I don't need it for Swampert. I'd rather just like chip hit like crazy, because I don't think they're gonna have any move they can throw on Lurantis, because I'm just pure grass, so water and ground is resisted. So I want to just like take this out here or do as much chip damage I have. And I think they have to throw, so I'm gonna get another move off here. Yeah, so now they're gonna have to shield, or else they're gonna go down with like 100 energy because they haven't thrown yet. And they just decide, okay, oh, they just bank it. Oh, yeah, hard counter here. There's nothing my opponent could do here. And so, yeah, why am I covering these two? This team is smartly built for this reason. Lurantis is going to have real trouble against Trevenant and Giratina, which I mentioned, and that's where Umbreon comes in. And Ampharos can at least throw for a Brutal Swing. But I'm also going to get lit up by Flyers. And hello Flyer answer in Ampharos that can also deal with, to a certain, not deal with, but like can at least stay in with those Pokemon that I mentioned there. So from that perspective, his team is well balanced. Umbreon will act as a safe swap if I get a bad lead. So far it's been neutral or good leads here. They catch on a Mandibuzz, so that is a good catch. But I will have an answer in Ampharos here. The problem is, so this is the only problem with not running Thunder Punch. Oh, actually, it's not a problem because I just straight Zap Cannon here. Thunder Punch won't take out Zap Cannon one shots. It's not a problem. It does become a problem in some situations where you need just like a Thunder Punch quick move and you can't. And then I think it was against one of like the Darks. It wasn't this matchup, but it was against another Dark Pokemon where you needed the Thunder Punch, but you didn't have it. So you had to like throw a Brutal Swing because they were going to take you out beforehand, sort of thing. So I'm just throwing Brutal Swing here. It doesn't matter. Like, this can be resisted, but any chip damage is good chip damage in GBL. So let's get that off. Doesn't even register Volt Switch, but that's okay. I got a good answer here. I don't want to take a Moonblast here, and I think that's what they got. So I'm going to shield. And what is in the back but a Scrafty? So this is tricky, right? Umbreon, showcasing Umbreon is useless in this matchup. But this thing is so spammy. So what I'm going to try and do is just spam this and maybe catch a move. Like just go to town spamming here and then catch a foul play on Umbreon. And beautifully timed, aka super lucky. And they power punch me, so good catch there. But that is okay. Is it okay though, or am I going to get... This is what I'm worried about now. The ramp up. One last resort isn't going to take them out. I should be okay in terms of a last resort and maybe a foul play before they counter me all the way down. This team it doesn't have a pure like counter answer. So maybe in one of my losses coming up, I think it's like I lose lead, I lose switch into like Scrafty. And then Scrafty can ramp up. And the problem is like a ramped up Scrafty is still going to have a good play against either my Ampharos or my Lurantis. And that's where it becomes a problem. Loaded with energy, so goodbye Scrafty here. So yeah, this doesn't have like a pure answer to that. So if you want to use like a poison grass, like a poison grass in, I don't know, like Venusaur, I guess. That's not a bad answer in the front to at least resist the counter users. And Drapion's tough too. So I'm going to Super Power just to hit for neutral damage. And I guess I'm coming Umbreon. Because it's now low enough. Is this where I throw the... So, fun fact. So Umbreon is so defensive heavy. Which is great because this is a shadow. So it's just running Aqua Tail. So non-stab Aqua Tails. I mean, the Poison Jabs or Poison Sting, whatever the fast move is, plus these Aqua Tails will add up. I throw the last resort here thinking like, oh, I'll put this low enough where I can snarl down, or maybe I can like chip it a bunch, and this like, no. It doesn't do enough, so it like doesn't take it out, and it doesn't put it in snarl range, so I'm going to have to throw foul play anyways. So I don't know how much a foul play does, but like it's a shadow, so I probably could have just gone double foul play instead of going foul play and then last resort, or last resort then foul play. But again, similar situation where I just get up to a bunch of energy. I want to get low on health so that this Virizion doesn't get too much farm. Because again, I don't have an answer to like a counter use. And that's why I come in right away here. Because I'm like, I still need to shield. I was worried about the ramp up, and I'm still shielding. And it's just a Leaf Blade, which is interesting. I think I'm eventually going to have to throw a Superpower, because Leaf Blade is resisted, but I don't want to go. So they do have Secret Sword. I don't know why they... I'm throwing it because I didn't want it, and they caught on a Muck. Ugh, God, okay. I caught on a Muck. It's resisted. I'm just throwing it right away because I'm Switch Locked, so I'm just going to chip this with Superpower. Okay, chip. And now... This is matchup. This is the matchup where I'm like, oh, I wish I had Thunder Punch because now I gotta get to Zap Cannon. A Thunder Punch would have done chip damage between the voltage, would have taken this out. I'm now gonna hit that Dark Pulse. I was thinking that like maybe they'll think it's a Thunder Punch and want to shield, and then they don't, and then I just lost the match basically there. I catch here, but I think the damage is probably already done. And then Virizion's a problem, right? Yeah, Virizion, I have no answer, right? So Virizion is tough because, right, I put it in my title of this battle. I put in Virizion for a reason because I have no answer for Virizion in the back here. Everything's resisted, so you don't need to run this team. You can run another answer to a flyer that has at least some play against Virizion. This matchup... Not great, but not bad. I eventually will catch. I'm just going to chip with some Leaf Blade here. And then probably try and catch an Icicle Spear on my Umbreon here. Does a lot of damage. Yeah, let's grab a shield back and then I'll go Umbreon. I might not even try and catch. I just may try and go into Umbreon. Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, force them to throw. And the best case scenario is they do throw. I love when people do this because, like, I mean, it could be an Earthquake. But, like, who cares? It's Umbreon. So... That is exactly what Umbreon's supposed to do. Umbreon is supposed to, on teams, just tank all this energy. They shield. Is this where I shield back? I was going to say, I can live another Earthquake. It's just an Icicle Spear and we CMP, so this is going down. If they're shielding a super low health wall rain, it's probably because they have two things in the back that are weak to this. And here comes a Giratina. So my guess is they have two Pokemon weak to dark in the back, right? So Umbreon is going to chip here. I think I can live a Dragon Claw because Umbreon's just so tanky. Yeah, with ease. So now I'm going to chip a bunch here. I don't want to get farm down. So I'm probably going to bail into one of these other two. I should bail into one of the other two. And there's Trevenant, right? So there is your second Pokemon that has no play against Umbreon. So double ghost backline, you need to try and, if you're running the double ghost backline, you need to try and draw out a dark for that exact reason. But it is running Dragon Breath, so it's a little better, but not really, because Umbreon is just too tanky that even the Dragon Breath and Claws, although you'll spam, will not do enough. I am just going to let this go down. Oh, I can live it. I get out of there. Try and farm this down all the way. I have a shield. I got a move stored. I'm going to shield this, farm down, just throw a couple Leaf Blades at the Giratina, and then I have a Brutal Swing stored. So Lurantis was fun to use. I've used it before, and it has some play. Like, you just got to cover your Giratina weakness and Trevenant weakness. Ampharos, I think if you're going to run Ampharos, you probably want to run the Shadow version just for a little more oomph. Because Volt Switch does so much damage, and it just kind of, I just find that the Shadow is better, but I don't have a Shadow one, so that is too bad. And then Umbreon, yeah, like here we go with Cresselia. I take a Moonblast. Luckily these Snarls are doing super effective, so even if they get off I may shield a Moonblast. Actually, I don't need to, like I'm going to outpace. So if I want to just keep the shields, I can. And I do, and I think they go leaf. Yeah, if I remember this, they go double Moonblast and then leaf, whatever the grass is, leaf grass knot. Because I am not timing, not throwing properly. But it's just grass knot. I love grass knot. Take out with foul play. So very, very comfortable matchup with Umbreon on Cress, especially if you want to shield and do some chip damage here, which is great. So good chip damage, now probably within Leaf Blade range. Oh, actually, probably not in Leaf Blade range. Regirock is pretty tanky. Yeah, so it does not one-shot. I don't really want to take a Focus Blast or Stone Edge, so I'm going to Shield. And then we'll see what's in the back. And it's kind of the worst case scenario. Yeah, this is definitely the worst case scenario. It is a Shadow Claw, Giratina. It's worst case scenario because Volt Switch are resisted. I'll get a bunch of Brutal Swings off. But the spam on this thing is very real, and this is gonna start adding up real quick here. And I don't know if I'll get to a third move before I'm taken out, because they're just gonna double shield. So I think I can live one more. But the problem is they're already at another one, and now I gotta worry about. So I got shield, but I also have to worry about a catch or a snipe. So I just managed to get this off. Problem is this is still, it's non-stab, so it's going to get like 50%. No, oh god. Gets a 250%. It did like 30%. Yeah, and unfortunately Giratina against these two is just, even a Brutal Swing super effective is not going to add up enough here. So I think I'm going down. But good Pokemon. Good Pokemon. Like I said, Umbreon, tons of coverage in this meta. You need to pair it with a couple things that can deal with Fairy. I don't really have an answer to Fairy, but like between the grass and the electric, you're fine for Fairy. Especially that the main Fairy in this meta is Tapu Fini, right? So you can just deal with that there. And Fighters, I don't have a pure answer to Fighter. That's the only problem with this team. If you're going to run Lurantis, cover your, like I said, Giratina and Trevenant weakness, and you got to cover your Flyer weakness. And if you're running Ampharos, your main thing you're going to need to cover is your Swampert weakness, hence Lurantis, and you're going to need to cover anything that's a ground, like Galarian Stunfisk you're going to have a problem with. Giratina you're going to have a problem with in general, even though these Brutal Swings, I think probably still takes like 3 Brutal Swings to take it out. So that is how you cover your weaknesses with this Pokemon. But that is it. Fun using. I'm going to try a bunch of different teams. I read your comments about all the different Pokemon you want to see. I've got a Virizion team coming. I got the Virizion team. Was the Virizion team with the Virizion 2 very accessible, non-legendary, non-XL Pokemon. So stay tuned for that. I thought I had a third one, but I forget off the top of my head. Anyways, stay tuned for more Ultra League, plus when the league switches over on Wednesday. So appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.